Hey guys, this is Brad from Dallas Geek, and I'm here today with
Tweed Scott.
And we're here today talking to you about your book, Texas in Her Own Words.
Correct.
So, tell me a little bit about your book.
Well, basically, this book is the book that explains why Texans are the way they are.
That's a big order.
Attitude comes from.
That's a big order there.
I had to know. I just wanted to know what made Texans tick, because
Sure.
they are different.
I've been noticing that. You know, my 30 years so far, I've kind of figured out that there's something about it.
Right.
So,
right.
What have you found?
Well, for me, I wanted to know why these people are the way they are, and there was two burning questions that I had to have answered. And one was, what makes Texas special?
Okay.
Why is this place so by golly different than anywhere else on the planet? And you know it is. And secondly, if it applied to them personally, what does it mean to you personally to be a native Texan? What's that all about? And I got some really, really remarkable answers. And the great part of this is, there's like 5 states within the state.
Yeah.
So you have to go to all of these places and talk to her people. And I did. And you know, you're not going to confuse the piney woods of the Chihuahuan Desert any more than you're going to confuse the Panhandle of the Gulf Coast. So we went to all these places and talked to her people in those locations. And what I found was there's a lot of diversity in Texas. That's one of its great strengths. But also, what blew me away completely was how people who could live 400, 500, or 600 miles apart tell me essentially the same things. In some cases, it was almost verbatim, and that was kind of creepy. But the thing was, though, I realized at the end of it all, and I interviewed about 125 people to start with. There's 62 in the book.
Okay.
Some you've heard of. Willie Nelson's in the book, Liz Carpenter, Darrell Royal.
Wow.
I got Kinky Friedman to do the forward for me.
Oh, wow.
And well, I was in radio for 30 years, so I've been lucky to get to know a lot of people.
Yes.
But the thing that surprised me the most was that I came to the conclusion that there's like 4 traits or characteristics that all Texans share, regardless of where they live.
Okay.
And they're probably not even aware of them. But number 1 is the fact that Texas was once its own country.
Yeah.
That is a huge part of a Texan's psychological DNA. It's who they are.
Yeah.
And if a native Texan doesn't think you know that, you only have to wait 6 or 8 minutes, because you will be duly informed.
Nice.
Number 2 and number 3 are very closely related. Number 2 is the Texas education system.
Okay.
Texas is one of the few places anywhere in the country where the state history is so heavily mandated in the public schools.
Okay.
It is the law in Texas. You get Texas history in the 4th grade, you get it again in the 7th. Some school districts will teach in the 11th as part of American history. You will not graduate from a state college in Texas unless you're taking Texas government.
Yep.
Nor will you be allowed to teach in Texas unless you've taken that course. Number 3, which is so closely related to that, is it comes from within your own family.
Sure.
If your family goes back 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 generations, it doesn't matter. Kids grow up hearing stories from within their own families about their great Uncle Alphonse, who may have brought water to Sam Houston's horse 2 months before the battle. But somehow, someone within your family helped make Texas. Tremendous, amount of pride in that.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to be impressed, you just stop any 10th grader in Texas and have them tell you about the Alamo and plan to sit down and stay a while. And the 4th trait, without a doubt, has to be that broken down little old mission in San Antonio. Every Texan, it seems, reveres that place, whether they've been there or not.
Yeah.
And one of the people in the book is the man who was the director of the Alamo. He ran it for the Daughters of the Republic of Texas.
Okay.
And in the middle of the interview, he stopped me. He says, "You know what the two most asked questions are at the Alamo?" And I've done book signings there, so
Sure.
I know. I've
yeah.
seen it firsthand. Number 1, where's the bathroom? Well, okay, it was built in 17 something or other, and it didn't come with indoor plumbing. I get that one. The second one was, why? Why on earth did they build it downtown? So you see, not everybody gets it. David says because that's where all the souvenir shops and hotels were, and they buy it. So anyway, but this book was an absolute passion, and in fact, I'm doing a podcast now that comes out October 1st. And it's called Speaking of Texas.
Okay.
And what we're doing is we're going all around the state using the same process, sitting down and talking with Texans. And they may do something remarkable, or they know a whole lot about something or some event.
Okay.
And we want to share that with people. As a matter of fact, when I leave here, I'm on my way to Dalhart, the XIT reunion.
Nice.
And the XIT ranch is how they paid for the capital. Because Texas didn't have any money.
Sure.
They had lots of land. So,
Sure.
That's kind of the crux of it.
Out of curiosity, the podcast that you're talking about,
yes.
Where can people find that?
Well, it will be on iTunes. What we're doing right now is we're in the process of recording some.
Okay.
I want to get 6 or 8 of them in the can before I release them. And then I want to do them once a week.
Okay.
So they'll be on iTunes. We're also going to offer it through our own website, speakingoftexas.com. And we're like any other entrepreneur. We're looking around and figuring out where we're wanted.
Yep.
So, but that's what we're going to do with it. It's just that I love doing this book. In the process of doing the book so much, I didn't want that to stop.
Sure.
And the thing is, this is an update. We did the original one in 2006, sold about 6,000 copies. And then I was about out of copies, and I was talking with a friend, and he said, well, hey, that book needs to stay out there. He said, let's form an LLC, you make some changes, and let's go do it again. And that's really what we're doing, just getting this thing really cranked up now. So,
okay.
So we're doing a lot of, one thing I don't suffer from is an asphalt deficiency. So we get around.
Hey, it works.
Yes, it does. So we've just been blessed. It's won 3 national awards.
Okay.
2 for creative nonfiction, and 1 for book design. I swear I've got the best book designers on the planet, TLC Graphics in Austin, tlcgraphics.com actually.
So,
and inside it's graphic intensive. As you can see, they just did a masterful job of it, and it's really cool. It's a fun read. It's not heavy or academic. I just basically ask those 2 questions, and what you'll come away with is you'll know, if you live here, you already know it, but Texas is very personal, and it doesn't mean the same thing for any 2 people.
Sure.
It's all colored by your experience with it. It's a remarkable place. I'm home.
So, speaking of the book design, the cover.
Yes.
Was this an image that was taken by you in your journeys, or was
Yes.
this?
Okay. Actually, my wife took it.
Really?
We always carried a camera in the car wherever we went. And one day, I was living in Austin at the time, and we had one of those blue northers come through, and it got, and the wind was up. These little clouds in the back were about 150 feet off the ground, going by at about 80 miles an hour.
Wow.
And this is a picture of a flag literally in front of a mobile home park.
Really?
But as I drove by it, the sun went behind the picture, and I just said, hey, you gotta see this. And so we went around, my wife got out of the car and literally stepped in about 4 inches of water in a barge and lined up the shot. She was taking film at the time.
Yeah.
And so she took, I don't know, well, a couple of shots, and then we got them developed about 10 days later. And only then did we know what we had.
Nice.
And my book designer said, that is your book cover. And honestly, I can tell you the book cover has sold us a lot of books.
Oh, I can imagine that. I mean, this is a very impressive looking cover. Because I mean, if you're going to be doing a book about Texas, you need something very striking. And I mean, as much as it can be easily overlooked, the just a very strong image of the state flag is about as Texan as you can get.
That's it. And my thing was too, I didn't want to just put up another Texas flag on the front of it, because we've all seen that countless times. But the image in this book, if you notice, obviously the sun's behind the star.
Yeah.
And this is Texas in her own words, and it's not all just women, it's a lot of guys too. But the thing was, it was like looking into Texas, into the heart of it.
Yeah.
And we just thought that was a really good image. And I thank Tammy Dever, my book designer, for finding it, basically. When I finished the book, it came in at 180,000 words. I cut 100,000 words out of it, gave it to her, and I said, do your magic. I didn't stand over them saying, no, let's do this. You know,
Yeah.
I trusted them to do what they do.
Nice.
I believe in the tennis theory. If I could win Wimbledon with my forehand, I'd go for it. But I have no backhand. That would be definitely a backhand. Let the pros do it.
Nice, very, very nice. So for our viewers out there, if they want to find your book and pick it up, where can they find it?
Probably, I can autograph them for them. I mean, you can get it through the Amazon thing, but that I don't find it to be as good for me. But we have a publishing company called TejasPublishing.com.
Okay.
Or you can go directly to TexasInHerOwnWords.com.
Okay.
And you can get the book through there. And
Nice.
plus some other things that I've written. I do a thing with Christmas stories every year. It's up on the site too as well. So,
Nice.
and anyway, all I can say is I've been blessed. I've been blessed more than I deserve. And this book has just been the little book that could. And I'm really proud of it. And I want to thank you for the opportunity for allowing me to come in and talk about my little labor of love.
Absolutely. So if you are interested in picking up this book, the links will be down in the description below. So go check out Little Slice of Texas.
Yeah, you'll love it. I promise you. Even if you've lived here your whole life, you will come away from this book. You'll learn things that you didn't know. I promise you that.
Oh, there's so much about Texas that, I mean, I'm still learning, and I was born and raised here, so.
Hey, you can make out your Texas bucket list that I have. And I'll tell you right now, you'll never finish it.
Oh, yeah.
You'll never finish it. So.
All right. So until next time, this is Brad from Dallas Geek saying, see ya.